Hello and welcome to Video Game Hangover. I'm Randy Dickinson and I'm in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Hey, I'm DJ Ross. I am in Mountain View, California.
On every episode of Video Game Hangover, we talk about the games that have been keeping us up at night. This week we're talking about Vampire Survivors and Vampire Crawlers, and we finally stopped playing Dragon Quest VII.
Oh.
Fine.
Wow, end of an era.
I know, seriously. Our long national nightmare is over.
Have you really stopped playing Dragon Quest VII, though? Do you ever really stop?
No, because the irony is, like, I did the last thing.
Yeah.
And then I played it for 10 more hours.
Yeah. No, really?
Yes. Yeah, it was exactly 10 hours. Yeah. Because I finished it at like 83 hours. And my most recent game save is 93 hours.
Oh.
So I did 10 hours.
10 hours.
10 hours of just extra stuff, extra things.
Extra stuff.
Yep. I had not gotten all of the tiles needed to bring back all of the missing islands in the game.
Oh, really?
So, and I was able to finish the game without having done that. So I went and I got the tiles that I had missed and brought back those islands and did their stuff. Did all of the stories in the past and in the present, the little time travel thing the game does.
That's good. That's very responsible of you.
Thank you. And what was the other thing that I did? Oh, there is some other challenges that the game unlocks post final events, and I did some of that and failed miserably.
Oh no! Yes, yeah. That sounds like the extra bosses or whatever.
Yes, yeah. So after playing 80 something hours of a game that I thought was not easy by any means, but like I'm way over leveled and I'm just trouncing much of what the game is throwing at me. I got my ass handed to me repeatedly by everything I encountered. And I was like, nope, I'm not ready. And I certainly don't want to spend 20 more hours to get to level 100 to be able to hold my own in these. So I could spend much more time with the thing, which is bananas. I didn't find every mini medal in the game, which is very much a Dragon Quest collectibles thing. And I'm not sure what every mini medal gets you in the game. But that is a thing I have not done. Yeah. And a couple of other collectibles and unlocks and stuff, but I'm done. I'm satisfied.
You're satisfied. Yeah.
I put it away in good conscience. I felt a sense of completion wash over my body.
I don't remember, maybe it was like this in the original. I just sort of assumed that through the course of going through the game and defeating the last boss, that you do unlock every island. So I think it's funny. I mean, I'm hoping that's what I did. I think it's funny that you could potentially play this, finish the game, and be like, yeah, we saved the world, and then there's just a few islands that are still sealed forever.
Just trapped in time or wherever they are.
Yeah, or whatever's going on with them. I don't know what their situation is. Maybe they're not aware of it. Maybe that I was like, maybe that's okay, but then it turns into a whole like philosophical discussion.
Yeah. They were pretty good stories too. They were not among my favorites by any means. Folks will remember from me talking about this repeatedly on the show is that kind of the conceit of Dragon Quest VII is that you think you're the inhabitants of the only island in the world. And through the machinery of what happens in the game, other islands start to pop up. And you have the ability to see them kind of at their present and then go back in time and kind of alter their present by changing things in the past. And then lather, rinse, repeat. New islands pop up. There's a series of stories and characters and things like that you get super invested in, and then you tie up everything sort of nicely and then go on to the next island. So yeah, there were a couple that I really, really enjoyed, and there were a couple that I was like, I can't wait for this to be over.
Yeah.
Few of those. But the ones at the end were kind of fun, and I'm glad I saw them, but they didn't change my definitive ranking of what the best islands in Dragon Quest VII are.
Okay, interesting. At least they weren't like, you didn't come away thinking like, maybe we should have left that one sealed up. Maybe
exactly.
Those guys are a little racist or whatever. Maybe that was a mistake.
Not everybody deserves to come back.
That would be an interesting game. They're just like, which islands do we bring back?
Yeah, it's sort of like the duality what's the like the bullshit they used to do in the old games?
Oh yeah,
Telltale.
The Paragon choice or
right, exactly. Yeah.
Telltale.
Randy will remember this later.
Yeah, you got to unlock the. It's gonna be like the Renegade Island to get all those achievements. But then you just made the world a terrible place.
Yeah. Oh, Infamous is the other one I'm thinking of. That you could be the villain, you could be the hero.
Do you revive the whole island full of orphans or war criminals? It's up to you. Which one gives you better equipment to fight the bonus bosses?
Yeah. It's 2026. The answer is not so clear.
Yeah. Who knows? You gotta hear from both sides and you gotta let them make their case, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that would be the hard part of rebooting the Infamous series in 2026 is people would be like, I don't think the villain's that bad.
Yeah, like let's hear him out. Hey guys, let's just hear what he has to say.
Yeah, you have to respect his opinions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orphanage looked like it was going to burn down anyway.
Yeah, Joe Biden built that orphanage.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, yeah. New topic, but Dragon Quest VII. That's my final thoughts on Dragon Quest VII. Liked it a lot. Yeah, no regrets. I'm glad it's over though. I'm ready to move on to other things. So yeah, that was a delight. I've not seen credits roll on a lot of Dragon Quest games, so it's fun to sort of stick with this one to the end.
What's the next Dragon Quest game you see in your future? There are quite a few of them out there at this point.
Yes, yeah. Well, it is Dragon Quest Day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, as we're recording this
week. So hopefully there will be some interesting announcements that come out of that. It is the 40th anniversary. Is that right? The 40th anniversary of the Dragon Quest series?
Since Dragon Quest 1, I think.
I don't mean to lecture you, DJ. DJ Ross,
I honestly,
master of all things Dragon Quest.
I didn't know when Dragon Quest Day was. I just saw somebody posting 40 years since Dragon Quest 1 came out. I'm like, wow, that is kind of a big deal.
I can't possibly be that old.
Here's the thing I don't like is what people are like, guys, it's the 34th anniversary of Mario Brothers this year. What is Nintendo going to do? I was like, the 34th anniversary? Who cares? 40 is an actual big deal, though. That's a nice round number.
Yeah. There are not a lot of 40-year-old video game series.
That's also true.
So yeah, we'll see what comes out of that. The kind of odds-on favorite, the unannounced favorite, is a remake of Dragon Quest IX, which was the first Dragon Quest game that I played, which was the first JRPG that I ever played, to any degree, anyways. And has a kind of a special place in my heart, and it has been locked away on the DS for all these many years. So it would be cool if that got resurrected as a Switch game or as a Steam Deck game. I don't know if I have another 100-hour JRPG in me in the near future, but yeah, I think that'd be neat. I also want to see what's up with Dragon Quest XII, which is the new Dragon Quest that has been announced or teased anyways, but I think we don't know anything else about, really.
I hope it looks just like Final Fantasy 16, just super serious. The main character is just gravelly voice,
just grim,
sad guy. Yeah, it's all gray. all the slimes just look like disgusting, scary monsters.
And then I still have not finished Dragon Quest 10.
11, I think.
Is it 11? Oh yeah, 10 is the MMO, right?
Yeah.
So 11 I've not finished. I've barely started, honestly. So I, if anything, the smart thing, the responsible thing for me to do would be to go back to Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah, I'd like to do that too. I also never put a whole lot of time into that.
Yeah. Which is well regarded. I think people like that game.
Yeah, people say that's one of the best ones.
Yeah. So maybe all of those things, maybe none of them.
All right. Well, you certainly have your options.
Yeah, we'll see. I was rolling back through my video game list on my phone of I keep a list of all the things I want to play and when they come out. And I missed 10 games in the 3 months.
Because of Dragon Quest VII?
Because of Dragon Quest VII. So I have no shortage of things to play. I'm not hungry for games by any means.
Man, if it's the 40th of Dragon Quest this year, that means the 40th for Final Fantasy has got to be right around the corner. I got to look up when that is.
I was gonna say they can't be too many years apart, right?
Yeah, when did the first Mario come out? I wonder how they even measure that if it's like Super Mario Brothers, or if they do like Donkey Kong or the OG Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, anyway, there's got to be some big anniversaries coming up for a lot of these series because like a lot of them are going to be turning 40 soon.
True. Yeah, I've not done the research. I'm not sure, but
All right, well, something to look forward to. I better figure out when Final Fantasy Day is, so I'm ready for all the festivities or whatever.
Right. Yeah, you got to buy cards. You got to buy a whole new outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to knit so many gloves.
Why do I have to knit gloves?
Weren't you knitting gloves in the game at some point? That's one of the things.
In 14, I was doing some crafting, but I was like, what does Final Fantasy have to do with gloves?
It is one of the things that I remember about that game.
Yeah, well, I was thinking like you gotta forge like a huge sword or something, but you're like, oh, you gotta make your signature Final Fantasy gloves. But now I get it. Now I understand.
Here's what I do want from any future Dragon Quest game. And this will be the last I say about Dragon Quest for the foreseeable future, for the sake of our listeners. I'm done with this bullshit where I put on cool armor and cool hats and cool boots, and I don't get to see them on my character.
That only happens in one game.
It is not okay. And it's it's lazy. It's not. I'm not gonna
lazy.
I'm not going to tolerate it.
There's so few games where that actually happens. You just called out so many other games. You're just like, I can't stand this thing that these two games in all of gaming history do that no other games do. It's about time they all did this.
Super disappointing.
I mean, I kind of agree with you on some level, but I just like it's such an exceptional thing to have in a game.
Yeah. Okay, well here, I'll clarify that is a thing that happens in Dragon Quest IX, which is why I sort of associate it with Dragon Quest.
Right, yes, very unfortunate coincidence that was the first one you played.
But to your point, it's the only Dragon Quest where that's a thing, right?
Yeah, except I'm guessing it happened in 10 because that's the MMO.
But that makes sense.
Since then, it's not really happened.
Yeah, there are some in Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. There are some like packaged costumes you can buy, but they're not tied to jobs. They're not tied to perks or anything. You don't level up when you put them on.
Yeah, there's always like one or two of those, right? There's like the bunny outfit. And then I don't know what else.
I didn't get a bunny outfit, but
there's no bunny outfit.
Oh. If there is, I didn't find it in my 93 hours of looking. I should find out like what are there costumes I didn't find, because that would be annoying. I should torture myself by Googling what costumes I didn't find.
Sometimes that's the extra incentive you need to put in the another 100 hours or whatever.
But if they do port Dragon Quest IX from the DS to a modern console, and they don't bring over all of that stuff, all of those costumes and all of the upgrades that sort of come with the costumes and the paper doll stuff that I love from that game, there's gonna be riots. It's gonna be a bad time for everybody.
Oh, I think they would have to, because that was such a huge part of that game. Like, a huge part of the end game was actually getting special, like, legacy costumes. So, I feel like there's no way they would leave that out.
Yeah. Well, from your mouth to God's ears.
Okay, well, then now that you've put every other RPG out there on notice, maybe we'll see some progress made in, fantasy fashion or whatever.
Yeah. It's true, because as we're saying this, I'm thinking about like all of the other RPG series that I like, and there really are no other ones where that is the thing.
Seriously, like none. We like the last time this came up, we tried to brainstorm like a single other game that did this, and I don't think there were any. Like Diablo, that's not really the same type of game.
Yeah. And you could pay $20 for like bathing suit DLC for the Persona games, but
yeah. That's the other one I thought of, but they're always
not the person doing that. Yeah.
I always like put those on for a couple battles just to see, and I'm just like, no, I don't feel good about this anymore.
This feels bad, yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes the stats are too good. They gotta just be degrading for a while. Apologies to my my Persona team for making them wear those outfits.
Yeah. So yeah, that is my Dragon Quest update. No regrets.
No regrets. All right. Well, that's a good it's a good thing to come away from a game with.
Yeah. It's like the longest video game experience I've had in a very long time. I can't remember the last thing I put 90-something hours into. So it would have to be an Animal Crossing or a Zelda at some point. So
I thought you just said you put like 100 hours into Clover Pit or whatever.
Oh, Clover Pit.
Yeah. It's like, oh, right. Now that you mention it.
Oh, now that you mentioned it, that wasn't that long ago. Let me look. I have my Steam Deck handy. Let me see if I can figure out how many hours I put into Clover Pit.
Well, while he's doing that, we have a stream announcement to make, which is next Monday, June the 1st, if I have this date correct. We will be streaming Thick as Thieves. I don't know if this is written correctly in the outline. Thick as Thieves.
Thick with 2 C's.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's how it's spelled, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
This is a game that recently came out, actually co-developed by Warren Spector. We just learned before the show, the creator of Thief and Deus Ex, among others. It's a co-op stealth heist game, which what looks like it looks like it has you breaking into various museums and safe houses, just places you would like to break into and steal stuff from. And it looks really cool. It's been a while since I played a stealth game, let alone a sort of heist-centric game. So looks like it's going to be fun. So we're going to try co-oping through this, see how much, I was going to say like how much booty we can remove from this museum. But I think that's because I've also been playing a pirate game, so I'm getting my wires crossed.
I would say that also ties back to the THICC. Thick as Thieves.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got it. But anyway, we're gonna see how much loot we can extract from these museums. That'll be Monday, June the 1st at 10 p.m. Eastern on Twitch TV/VGHangover. Should be fun.
Yeah. It looks great. I had not heard of this until DJ suggested it for our co-op stream. So I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Yeah, I don't know how I came across it either, but it just came out recently, so probably there was some thread.
Cool. There's the game I thought it was when you first pitched it. Is one of the games that I missed during my Dragon Quest VII time. Is a game called Reloaded. Have you heard of that?
Oh, this is the one where they go and recover all the stolen artifacts.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You're African agents. Who break into like the British Museum and steal back all of their artifacts. And that has gotten really, really good reviews and is supposed to be super fun, kind of like puzzle extraction kind of game. I do want to play that too. That is still on my list. But this Thick as Thieves looks cool too. I don't think Reloaded is co-op though. I think that's just a single player experience. So interested in seeing how co-op extraction stealth works.
Yeah. We have a long history of co-op stealth action, espionage, whatever. Going back to all those Splinter Cell games we co-op through.
Yes.
So this will be a fun sort of return to the glory days of who are the guys? Kestrel and Archer from Splinter Cell, whichever one that was.
Oh yeah, the double agents there.
Yeah, and if those old playthroughs are anything to go by, the stream should be about 48 hours long because I am meticulous.
Yes, a lot of the for anybody who's been watching Video Game Hangover for a very long time, because that last Splinter Cell game was like 12 years ago, right? Didn't we determine that?
Yeah, it was 12 or 13 years ago.
Yeah, it was a lot of me running ahead recklessly while DJ
right
waits behind.
You sure this is the right time? Maybe we just wait for that guard to do like 5 or 6 or 7 more laps around just to make sure
Right.
he doesn't, on the third lap he makes a surprise left turn or whatever.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm at the
That's
door,
what we're looking at here.
the exit door, waiting for DJ to catch.
Yeah, he's already got the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he did it. Okay, great.
Or I've been killed by the sentries.
Yeah, one of those two things.
And now you have the added pressure of having to revive me.
Yeah, no, I gotta revive you so I can finish going over my plan.
Right. Which clearly I was not paying attention to.
Right.
Cool. Other sort of stream related. It's not DJ and I streaming it, and he doesn't know that I want to talk about this. But
oh boy,
there is a thing on Steam this week called the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase. This starts May 28th, the day this episode comes out, and runs until June 4th. And it's going to be a ton of puzzle games, new and old, on Steam that are on sale. And a bunch of curated lists and stuff like that from video game developers. It sounds really cool. I do love a good puzzle game. So I'm interested in checking that out. And part of this is there is something called the Thinky Direct, which is a Thinky video game. I don't know how much I love that branding, but
I was going to say I do not like the name that they chose for that.
But it is an hour-ish long presentation of new upcoming puzzle games, and that will go live on Thursday, May 28th, as well at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So if you search Thinky Direct 2026 THINKY, you'll find the video of that, I'm sure, on YouTube, but. And that's curated by the folks at Dracnet who made Spooky Express and made Sokobond Express and A Good Snowman is Hard to Build and a bunch of other really cool puzzle games. So if you like puzzle games, the next week should be really good. There should be a ton of content. So I'm excited to check that out.
Oh, well, maybe I'll check that out as well.
Yeah.
All right, how many hours did you put into Clover Pit?
50. 50.
50. Oh, 50. Come on.
A mere 50 hours.
Mere 50 hours. Disappointing.
I mean, it is 50 hours of really just playing a slot machine. Yeah, 50 is pretty good.
That is, yeah, that's a respectable number of hours.
Yeah. Well, we'll see at the end of the year when I get my Steam Deck Spotify Wrapped or whatever. Yeah. How this stacks up with the rest of my pursuits. Which we talking about? We should talk about Vampire Survivors, which we streamed last week.
Right. Yeah, we got our vampire doubleheader here.
We do all vampires all the time.
Yeah.
My first experience playing Vampire Survivors, your first experience playing co-op Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
But certainly not your first time playing Vampire Survivors.
Oh, no. But it was my first time playing it in... Man, it might have been since Extra Life last year. I played some of the... Actually, it might have been Extra Life 2 years ago, now that I think about it. But anyway, it's been a while.
My takeaway from Vampire Survivors is I see it. I get it. I understand why people like this.
You see it. Yeah, I know. The stream wasn't the total disaster, which I was like sort of split. It could go either way.
I was not immediately sold. And I think that's sort of like the subtle power of Vampire Survivors. Is like the first 10 minutes. I was like, this is kind of slow and there's not really a lot going on. And it doesn't seem especially challenging. And then like all hell broke loose.
It's a really easy game to like write off immediately.
Yeah. It is
like
also...
the first time I played it, it was just the web version, which actually has, I mean, at the time, the sort of standalone version did not have as much stuff in it. So it was comparable with the web version. But it's a very like modest looking game.
Feedback loop still at that point in that version? Was it still like upgrade?
Yeah, well, upgrade? It was basically the same game.
Oh, okay.
Like eventually they just stopped supporting development of the web version. But it's just this junky little pixel art guy shooting at equally junky looking monster sprites. the music is kind of like what is going on here? And the gameplay is very simple. Like you don't even really push buttons; it just shoots at enemies automatically. It just kind of looks like what is this game? Like how is this the game that people are talking about? But then there's just something there's something weirdly compelling about it the more you play and discover.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't. I should let you sort of like get into it because I've spoken about Vampire Survivors plenty up to this point.
No, that's fair. I think that was my impression of it from having obviously seen it played on the internet and hearing you talk about it. So, like, really, this game? Because it's not a looker, honestly. It really
No.
does. The music goes hard, though. I would take umbrage with that, as I think I'm not sure what the composer's name is, but he.
Oh, okay. Well, so wait, one note. Yeah, the music now is amazing, but like the very early on version, the first song was just it was just like there was not a lot going on. It was a
Gotcha.
very different song that's the one that is on the first level now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the soundtrack is bangers. Yeah, all day.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
But yeah. So it definitely was, and I found a meme after we finished playing that was sort of like, humans weren't made to deal with this much dopamine, and it was like all of the lights and the sound effects and the casino like jackpot vibe that Vampire Survivors kind of turns into. With all the monsters on the screen and all of your like leveled up powers like firing at once. It's kind of insane. And yeah, like our playthrough, we played like one good long game, right? Is that accurate?
Yeah, we did. We had one run that went to 30 minutes, which is
Right.
usually like where it cuts off.
And it felt like skinning your teeth kind of at the end. Like, it was like the clock was ticking down and we were like 30 seconds away. And I was like, we just have to stay alive for 30 seconds. So it was super fun. And DJ and I wrapped up and we shut off the stream and I went and I laid in bed and I played it again.
Nice.
I did not get nearly as far solo. And in fact, I'm sort of left with the takeaway that like, I think I would rather play this with friends, with you.
Interesting.
Because the couple of times I've played it over the last week or so by myself, I don't find it nearly as fun. And I didn't live nearly as long as when I played it with you. So I know not every run can be a winner, but I would like one run to be a winner.
Yeah, it's a little slow starting out. Like you do have to unlock new weapons and power-ups and stuff like that, and just sort of figure out just some combinations of weapons are more effective than others, and that's just something you have to sort of suss out. But when we were doing the co-op stream, I had all these unlocks available. Right. I actually reset all of them going into it because I didn't want to start out at like level 99 everything. but I did have some enabled just so it wasn't like, like we did have a slight experience point boost, I think, and then I tried to pick stuff that would make it a little more like approachable or a little more tolerable. That doesn't seem like the right word, but just something that would like help you ease into it, because the first initial runs when you don't have anything available can be kind of rough.
Yeah, and I think that was some of my takeaway from playing solo is that it clearly is a game that is designed to be played 100 times and failed most of them, but you're unlocking and you're leveling up and et cetera, and I don't know if I necessarily have the patience to wait for that to happen by myself. I really liked when you and I were playing co-op, some of the upgrades that we were getting as we were leveling applied to both of us.
That was cool, yeah.
Which I thought was super smart and a good way to like built in like dual incentives in a co-op game. So it's weird because I don't think Vampire Survivors started or like launched with co-op. But in the limited experience I have with the game, it feels like the right way or the better way to play it.
I do think like ultimately you end up with more. You're able to pick up more weapons playing it co-op than you do playing it solo, because that seems like one of the few adjustments they make when you're doing co-op. Like solo, you can have 6 weapons and 6 like relics or sub-weapons or whatever they're called. And then in co-op, you each get 4 of each. And then I think you can have up to 4 players co-op. But I think if you play with 4 people, then you only get 2 weapons each.
Oh.
So it's an interesting way of balancing it, because if you can imagine everybody having 6 weapons, it would just be, you wouldn't be able to see anything. but I think it's still you still come out a little bit ahead, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because
I don't really know,
quadruple the
like,
firepower.
right, and then you can sort of like my tendency is to just sort of wander around and try and pick up the gems and everything. But I think in a lot of cases I would go, oh man, Randy's like in trouble over there. There are all those like bats swarming around him. So I would try and like swoop in because I had the garlic shield or whatever. So I would try and put that up. So they're interesting sort of like co-op situations you could get into as well. Like try and support each other.
Well, and there was a genuine strategy in trying to lure enemies away from the other player. Those big swarms of the bats and stuff like that. Like if there were two of us kind of walking in opposite directions, it felt like it kind of split the crowd in half.
Right.
That was helpful. Yeah, I dig it. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I definitely like emotionally connected with it. I think at the end of the, as we were in the 27th minute of it, I was like, oh, it's going to be a nail biter. Yeah. And we were so wildly leveled at that point and had everything just sort of firing at full speed that I think for a moment we were just like, let's just stand here and see if we could like not have to move, but just stand in one place kind of back to back and let like the whip just sort of fly around us. I think I had, correct me if I'm wrong, like one of us had whips. The other one had like the King Bible that was spinning around.
Yeah, so somebody had the Bibles, which is super good.
And they were basically like
maxed out.
Protective force fields around us, so we didn't really have to move or seek out enemies. It really just sort of insulated us.
Yeah, sometimes you get that exact combination of stuff where it's just, you're unstoppable and you can just park yourself.
Yeah.
But I don't know how exactly they tune the difficulty, because like there are clear points during each run where the enemies get noticeably stronger, like things start to ramp up a bit. And I don't know if that's like in response to the weapons you have at that point, like how much experience you've collected, or if it just does so at the same rate every game. But like whatever it is, it works unbelievably well, because I've had so many runs that felt like that one that we had where we were doing like really well, but not well enough where we could completely sort of like take our eyes off the screen, right?
Right.
And
I wouldn't walk away.
Yeah. There's always that feeling like, okay, this could go either way at like any second. I've also had so many runs that were like in a similar situation. We were just very powerful, and I would get to like 29 minutes and something terrible would happen. I would just lose the run. I mean, that's part of the excitement of it. It's, you think you have a really good thing going, but then you're like, you really just have to be locked in and paying attention and maybe weaving through monsters if necessary. But yeah, I don't know how they do it, because they're like so many runs end up on like a knife's edge like that. It's really amazing.
Love that though. Whatever that tuning is, that's part of that dopamine thing too. I think obviously the lights and the bells and the sound effects and all the lasers and stuff like that is part of it, but the other part of it is just sort of like doing it by the skin of your teeth.
Yeah, really good.
And I did not replicate that experience alone. I mean, obviously completely unleveled. I don't have much unlocked. I really only have 2 or 3 of the characters available. And I think my first game ended at like 8 minutes and the next one ended at like 13. So
that sounds about right. I mean, that's pretty good. Some of it too is, you got to figure out like what weapons you like, which characters you like. There's a lot of variables that come into play. But
yeah, I couldn't believe the wall of characters you had access to. So that was crazy.
Yeah. Like I said, they've spent a lot of or they've had a lot of time to add stuff into the game since it came out.
Yeah. So yeah, as it inevitably happens when I get to a game like years after its peak, I'm like, oh, I should have played this years ago. But I'm like, no, I'm glad I played it. I could have continued to have dismissed it and written it off, and it was fun to just suck it up and play it and figure out that I was wrong all these years.
Well, I'm glad it worked out, because like I said, I wasn't sure where you would land on
it. Yeah, it's super cheap too. I think the other advertisement for it is it is around $5 most of the time. Is that accurate? And a lot of the DLC for it is free. So would recommend anybody just giving it a shot if you want to See if this thing clicks with you as well.
Yeah. There was there was some thread that was I think this was in like now we're switching over to vampire crawlers, but
Yeah.
there was a post that was like vampire crawlers. Why is it so expensive compared to like oh no this was the official like FAQ on the website. I think it was like why is it so expensive? And like it's like $10. Like guys calm down. And I know this is like the official FAQ, so it's probably trying to do like preemptive damage control. But you know, there's some people out there just like, well, Vampire Survivors was $3 when it came out, so why should I ever be expected to pay more than $3 for anything?
Right.
It's a little silly.
Yeah, I thought $10 for Vampire Crawlers was a bargain. I'd like more $10 games, please. That was fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, Vampire Crawlers is the newer of the Vampire Survivors connected universe games. The subtitle of this is the Turbo Wild Card from Vampire Survivors. And I think this sort of the conceit is that it's, and we talked about this when we played the demo a few months ago, that it kind of takes the flat 2D presentation of Vampire Survivors and turns it into a 3D first-person deck building game.
Deck building / dungeon crawling, sort of like
Right.
Etrian Odyssey or like Wizardry or, one of those things.
Yeah. Oh, that's the crawlers part. Yeah, it is a dungeon crawler.
Yeah. But then all the combat is through deck building and playing cards and everything.
Right. And similar to Vampire Survivors, an endless parade of leveling and unlocking new characters, new weapons, new upgrades, new cards with new weapons and abilities and stuff on them that keep you just hitting that bar over and over again and getting the pellet every single time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. There is a lot to unlock.
I've played quite a bit of this. I put 6 or 7 hours in the last week. Is it clicking with you, or is your loyalty still to Vampire Survivors?
I don't know if it's a loyalty thing. I think
no.
I don't know if I love it so far. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts about this. I played it for a few hours this weekend just because I knew you were going to check it out. I knew it just recently came out in full release or like early access, right?
No, it's full release. I think it's done. Yeah.
Oh, it's full release. Okay, well, that's good. But I figured I should check it out at some point. And it's just one of those games where I think it's just tuned in a way where it's like too easy at the start. And it made me think of what was that other game with like Dungeon Crawler? Is that the title?
Oh, the claw machine roguelike? Yeah.
The claw machine thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like the first couple hours of the game you may not as well even like exist, like because there's basically no threat from the enemies or whatever. You're just playing cards left and right and steamrolling everything, and you go back to the base and buy your upgrades, and then you're 1% stronger, and you just like eventually I'll be able to overcome anything they throw at me because I'll just get these incremental upgrades. And that's the sort of game that like makes me insane. That's why I never got into like SteamWorld or all those other games that I can't think of. All those like a lot of gacha games are like this, where they just start out so like they just ask so little of you that I find it hard to engage with. I feel like I get that there's definitely a reason why you would make you would want to ease people into your game, but I also feel like if you have like 100 levels in your game, or like this game feels like it has 100 levels in it, and they could easily cut out like the first 30 or 40 if that makes sense, because I feel like it takes so long for it to start asking you to make real decisions on what cards you're playing and that sort of thing.
Right.
But also, I'm trying to keep an open mind because I understand there's a lot that I just don't have access to at the start of this, because you do have to unlock stuff both through just buying it in the in-game shop and also sort of discovering it in the different dungeons, sort of like you do in Vampire Survivors.
Right.
So I'm hoping that once I'm out of the first, like the first couple of areas, then the gameplay will, start to ramp up a little bit more, because then I'll have also have just more resources to deal with it at that point. So it just feels like kind of just an extended tutorial, which is maybe dragging on a little more than I would like.
Yeah, I can see that. Sure. It is not nearly as I don't even think Vampire Survivors was punishing, but like Crawlers, like you definitely get through the first 2 or 3 dungeons pretty easily.
Yeah.
And then, at least in my sort of progression with the game, I hit a wall at some point where I clearly I didn't have access to enough weapons. I didn't have enough life or mana to get through the level that they were sort of throwing me into. And my thought at that point was like, I can't progress. I can't unlock more stuff. I might as well just go back and play the stuff that I've already done again. And that is where I started getting, here's some stuff I didn't find, and here's some unlocks I didn't get, and here's an ability somehow I missed, and things like that. So,
and that's not just like, it's like completely new stuff. It's just stuff you couldn't afford, or not stuff you couldn't afford in the store.
Some of it is stuff you couldn't afford in the store. Some of it is conditions that were right for you to find a new upgrade or a new ability. Yeah. And like when you hover over like a section of the world on the big, it's not that big at the beginning, the world map, it tells you like, I forget what they call it the Mad Forest. And it gives you like little icons for what can be or should be found there. And then the second time I go back to it and kind of get through it and unlock some stuff, you come back to that main menu and it says Mad Forest and there's more icons. And I was like, so it wasn't telling you at first exactly. Like, how Mario game is like, there are 3 coins in this level. You have to find all 3. Vampire Crawlers is not telling you how much stuff is sort of buried there. And again, I think it is meant to be similar to Survivors, like failed 6 times before you sort of like, I get it. I see I'm unlocking a thing. There's value in going through this over and over again.
Okay. So actually, Vampire Survivors does do the exact same thing. For some reason, it didn't even occur to me that they also do that in this. But I have noticed a few cases where, some of the stuff you unlock is because of like, you defeated 1,000 skeletons or whatever.
Right. Yep.
Okay, so I hadn't been specifically looking out for that sort of stuff. Maybe I should go back and do that.
Yeah, and I'm not conditioned to look for it. I only did it because I couldn't progress on the thing that was supposed to be the level that gets me to the next level. So I tried. The level is a bridge you're supposed to cross, and there's no way of avoiding enemies on some of the bigger maps. You can walk around enemies if you don't want to. But I want the XP, so I've been fighting everything. The bridge is just a straight line forward. You can't walk left or right to get around them, and so you have to fight everything that comes your way. And I just did not have enough health to get all the way across the bridge. So I was like, well, I'll go play some of the other levels and see if I can. Levels I've already played and unlock. And there is where I sort of like, you're supposed to do this. The game is killing you repeatedly so that you go back and do stuff you think you can be successful at. And again, I think me as a gamer, maybe 10 years ago, I don't know that I would have necessarily had patience for that. The whole rogue light thing didn't always work for me. But I think playing games like Balatro and Slay the Spire have shifted my perspective on good developers that can do that smartly. Did you? One of the things that was sort of like a late game understanding for me in Vampire Crawlers is that you're supposed to play cards by order of mana.
No, this is my favorite thing about the game.
Okay.
I think you like unlock this fairly early. I think it's like you find a stack of pancakes or whatever, and that unlocks this ability.
Yep.
But so yeah, as you play cards with like increasing energy costs, I don't know the exact figures, but it basically powers up the effect of each card if you play them in the correct order. And this is another thing where there's not a lot you can do with it initially because you just don't have that many cards and you don't have a lot of energy.
Right.
But you kind of get an inkling that like, oh, there's something going on here that feels like if you're really smart about it, you can like take advantage of and have some pretty crazy effects if you do it correctly. And I've seen the screenshots of people playing this where they'll have like 50 cards in their hand and there's like, explosions going on all around the screen, which I assume is just because you've extended your combo long enough to make this happen, sort of like it happens in Vampire Survivors. So I was like, okay, I can kind of imagine how you get to that point. And at this point, I've also just unlocked enough cards, I guess, to have something more than just like a 1-2-3 combo. But I think, yeah, that's been a lot of what's gotten me to stick with it, despite not really finding the first couple of areas very interesting, because I'm just like, okay, I gotta see where this goes. I gotta see how crazy you can get with the combo system, because that's not really it's not in Slay the Spire. It's not in other sort of like deck builders that I've played. It feels like it's pretty unique to this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing that is sort of it's poking in my brain is back to Clover Pit. That there was a realization after 10 hours of playing Clover Pit that if you choose like your totems, they're little toys, and you can have up to like 12 of them, but there's things you can do to get more that you're buying throughout the course of the game. And they're like good luck charms, but they have some influence over like how the reels in the slot machine play out for you. And the likelihood of certain symbols coming up and stuff like that. And I was just picking ones that I thought would like drive more money or drive more time. But there is some like subtle interaction between them that you have to kind of get tuned into. So that you can find 2 or 3 or whatever little totems, little good luck charms that interact off of each other. You can get one that sort of like increases the likelihood of hearts coming up. And then you can get one that doubles the value of hearts. And like those two side by side, that's pretty killer, et cetera, et cetera. So that's reductive, and there's way more to it over time. But I think it's one of those things that sort of like is not crystal clear to you at the beginning. Because you don't have access to a ton of it, or you see them on the shelf, but you can't afford them because you don't have enough money yet. So it becomes aspirational, which is kind of fun too. And I think that's one of the things that's sort of like I'm getting with Vampire Survivors is, to your point, is I see that there are cards that I can buy, or I've already actually unlocked that are in my hand that cost 5 and 6 mana. And the most mana I've ever had in my entire life so far is 4. So I'm like, how do I get 8 mana? How do I get 6 mana? Like, how do I get enough energy to be able to play? And there's some interaction there that I've just not quite sussed out yet. Yeah. So I dig it. And the other thing that was sort of an unlock for me in Vampire Crawlers is that it wasn't immediately clear to me what playing in order of mana meant.
That's key if you want to use that system.
Well, because my logic was because some of your cards are zeros and they're free to play, which is great. And
a lot of your cards are zeros, which really like threw me for a loop the first time. I was just like, why do I have energy if all this is free?
Right. And some of them are 1s and some of them are 2s. And what you're supposed to be doing, and tell me if this was clear to you, is you're supposed to play 0-1-2, 0-1-2, 0-1-2 until you run out of mana. What I was doing was playing all of my zeros, and then all of my 1s, and then all of my 2s.
Yeah.
And playing in order of mana. So I was playing all of my zeros first, and I wasn't getting the interactions that I was supposed to be getting until I figured out the 0-1-2, 0-1-2 thing. And I'm like, oh, I was doing it wrong. And that unlocked something for me in my brain and in the game too. I was sort of like, oh, this is much prettier, and there's much more sound effects and casino effects if I get the 0-1-2 part right.
You got it. what's really going to blow your mind is you get those wild cards, which combo with anything.
Yep.
I was playing those. I would play those first because I was like, yeah, then I can combo into a 0 because nothing combos into a 0. But you wanna play it to reset back to 0, and then you can start all over again. You get a crazy chain built up.
Yeah. Well, you want to play a 0, 1, 2, and then play the wild as your 3. And then you could play a 4 or a 5 if you have enough mana left over. So,
yeah, that you can also do that, but like I don't have any 4 or 5 cards yet. I'm kind of waiting because I can see how this could go. Because I was thinking there's like you can augment your cards too, and one of them I forgot what it is. Anyway, I was just thinking like I gotta get some expensive cards, and that's what I want to put all the augments on because that's what's gonna keep the chain going. But I just like I don't have any of those cards yet, so I'm just waiting to unlock them or whatever.
Oh, my logic thus far in the augments are interesting because you get little symbols that you can like hammer on to each of the cards, and so that means if you're throwing a 0 that is a knife that will do 40 damage, the little augment will also mean that you can get 3 armor for that, or you can get some other little thing, or a couple extra coins, or some other modifier. So I keep putting those on my 0s because those are the cards that I play the most. And I feel like that's the way to kind of get maximum return on that. Is like the likelihood of me using a 5 every hand is pretty nil because I don't always have 5 mana to play, but I'm always going to play that 0 first. So I keep putting them, especially the cash one. I keep putting the cash modifiers on the 0s because those are the ones where I'm just going to get all the coins all the time. That's been helpful.
I forget what like combination I was specifically looking for. I think it's like eventually you get really expensive cards that give you more mana, and then so if you're comboing into that already, it gives you double the mana, and then I think you put a draw augment on them. So you play this card, you get like 7 energy, and it just draws more cards for you to just keep the combo going with. I needed to think it through a little more, but
yeah,
there's definitely something like I in the last one I did, I was just thinking like there's like a dotted outline of the exact card I need in my brain. I'm just like waiting for it to appear. Like someday I'll have this card and everything. It'll be great. This is my plan. Will finally come to fruition. But until then, I'm stuck with all these like 1 or 2 energy cards, and I'm making do. So that's the thing that's getting me to keep sticking with it because I've just like I see the potential there, but it has been kind of a slog to get through the first few. Like the first 3 runs you do where you only have the 0 and 1 cost cards, it just feels like what am I doing?
Yeah,
like
that's that first
what is
5
this?
or 6 minutes of every Vampire Survivors run where I'm like, this is really slow and boring. It needs to go faster.
Yeah, but I think it like ramps up more clearly in Vampire Survivors.
Yes, I would not dispute that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm trying to keep an open mind just because I know, like, I've been saying this whole time, Vampire Survivors is you sort of like discover it in layers. Like even after you understand how the weapon evolutions work and everything, there's like all these other weird secrets. A lot of them are sort of like the conditions you have to fulfill, like you would do in Vampire Crawlers. So yeah, I don't know why I didn't expect that Crawlers would have similar systems. But yeah, I just got to get over the initial hurdle, I suppose.
Yeah, it has been. I was into it before I played Vampire Survivors, but it was interesting to see how well the components of Survivors translated to Crawlers. It is a lot of the same like art reused and sound effects and cards.
Yes.
The weapons on the cards are the weapons you have in Survivors. So it is really like the greatest hits of Vampire Survivors. They just sort of reapplied it. But it has been exciting to me to see how well it works.
It is really funny to me how many of the same like attributes that you upgrade in Survivors are also key components of Crawlers. Because like a lot of the weapons have like number of projectiles or area of effect, or I forgot what else they have. But in a lot of cases, they are just taken directly from Vampire Survivors and then sort of like put through this card game filter to form that makes sense in vampire
Right.
crawlers. It's really funny.
Well, when we played Survivors for the first time, you were like, "Oh, a lot of people like start with Gennaro because he has I forget what his thing was, but he was knives,
I
right?
guess the extra knife, yeah.
Yeah, he gets an extra knife. I liked playing with Gennaro, and he's the one that I played with solo and with you. And then I played Vampire Crawlers, and the character I gravitated to initially was Gennaro because of the same sort of benefits that he had access to. So it was like, I don't know how you apply this to like the next game in the Vampire series or whatever sort of structure that's going to take, but it's really cool how there is some kind of through line between these. And then if you sort of get something about vampires, or you have a favorite character or a favorite weapon or a favorite, point in the progression of those games that really resonates with you, it's interesting to see how well it still sort of applies to Vampire Crawlers.
Yeah. Man, I'm still waiting to unlock Gennaro. I'm so upset that I don't have him yet.
Oh, really? He was one of the first one I bought.
As soon as he shows up, that's what I'm putting my gold on. But I've got the garlic guy, and I got the panda already. That's weird.
Oh, that's weird. I haven't seen that yet.
Maybe I might have just been reading the wiki, because I'm like, how do I get Gennaro in here? Everything will be all right as soon as he shows up. I really do hope that, I don't know, there is a third sort of like Vampire Survivors game that is not just Vampire Survivors 2, and they continue the trend of just sort of porting the same concepts over to it, because it's if anything, it's fun seeing everything translate into a different format here. Even though the game is wildly different, you can kind of reuse some of your knowledge from Vampire Survivors in informing what you do in crawlers, because the weapons you pick up. As soon as I saw the fire rod or whatever, I was like, oh man, that's gonna do a lot of damage, so I want that thing. And all the other equipment and relics and everything have familiar effects, so that is kind of it's been a fun experience.
Cool. I want to go play it right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, I just haven't been as dialed in playing it as I was with Survivors, but the combo thing deserves a lot of credit. Actually, it does remind me a lot. I've been trying to do like infinite builds in Slay the Spire, which I have never really been into previously. But I don't know if you've done this before, but
no, I don't think I know what that means in that context. What does that mean?
The gist of it is so I'm playing with the Silent, and the idea is you have a combination of cards that like they generate more energy for you and allow you to draw more cards, and a lot of that happens by like discarding cards. So if you have this very specific combination of cards in your deck, you can basically just be like always discarding cards, which generates more energy and lets you draw more cards, and then you like discard all those, and you how the relics interact in that. It's like, so as you're doing all these discards and playing all these cards, you're just like either doing extra damage or it's like buffing you up. And if you're really good at this, you can just take out the entire, or you like kill the whole enemy in a single turn before it can even do anything. But it's a very familiar feeling of like, well, if I play this card, it'll give me 2 more cards, and then maybe one of those cards I can get more energy from that. And it's like, if you in Vampire Crawlers, like, oh, if I play 0, 1, 2, that will get me like 3 more energy and draw a card, so that will let me like draw even more cards. And it's actually a eerily familiar experience to trying to do an infinite in Slay the Spire.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Which I imagine you can do in this. I mean, I definitely haven't gotten the crazy fireworks to go off yet in Vampire Crawlers, but
I have a few of those.
Maybe soon.
Then I love that moment in games like this. I had that moment of sort of realization in Balatro where I was sort of like, oh, I get what I'm supposed to be doing here. And it like unlocked something in the game for me. And Slay the Spire had that too. Because my initial, and maybe I've talked about this on the show before, or at least talked about it with you, is my initial instinct in Slay the Spire was, give me all the cards. I want every card. Right. I want to know what cards are out there. I want to have all of them. I want to have multiple copies of them. I want to level them all up. And that is not how you beat Slay the Spire. It's really not even how
you could beat it that way.
Yeah. But you're trying to sort of control the randomness of the draw. And
Right,
which was not
right.
immediately clear to me in Slay the Spire, is that by having fewer cards, it means the good cards come up more often.
Yeah, exactly.
So you really want to get rid of anything that isn't having kind of immediate impact. And there's sort of this emotional curve to it too, because there's cards you really need early in the game that don't really have as much of an impact later on. So you have to like hold them close for the first couple of minutes and then like know when to cut them loose. And it's the machinery for getting rid of cards in Slay the Spire is not easy either. So there is a push pull to that too.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting how important curation becomes in Slay the Spire, and it was not immediately clear to me. It wasn't even like clear to me for the first probably 10 or so hours that I needed to be giving up cards more often and not just trying to get every single one of them in the game.
There are some, I feel like, out of the whole Slay the Spire community, if there are people like, way at the top, they're like level 99 or whatever, I'm still like like level 10. Because there are they're like achievements or something for finishing a run where you have like an absurdly low number of cards in your deck. I think it's like 4 or 5. And I'm just like, I don't understand how you can lose that many cards. Even if I set out to specifically do that, I don't know how I would do it. So there's still a lot to learn. Still a long way to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Now I want to play all those games. And that's been the hard part with Slay the Spire too, is that like I still feel like there's a lot of stuff about Slay the Spire that I don't understand. So like I'm excited that the sequel is out. It's out in some degree. It's for early access or whatever. But I was okay with continuing to play Slay the Spire 1, I think. So
yeah. I could have easily continued to play it. I mean, I continued to play it.
I think you more than
years.
me, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, good times.
If anything, it's made me. It's sort of a relief that even though the sequel is out, the original remains like relevant and interesting. So that's nice. Although maybe it could just be because the sequel's not on my phone yet. As soon as that happens, then who knows? I'll just like the other one, be done with it.
Well, and the developers are still very clearly tweaking Slay the Spire 2, and it feels like every couple of weeks when I check back in on it, like something's changed or something's been nerfed or something's been replaced or whatever. So I'm like, maybe I'm better off just waiting until this game is like 1.0 because the switcheroos are gonna mess with my brain.
It's been interesting following it through early access because I've never I played a bunch of games on early access at this point, but not one that has received like updates with this frequency, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So for instance, there was that one boss that they did a big rework on, and then the next week he's now completely removed from the game. So I was just like, I didn't even get to fight him, or I like fought him once in the second version of him. But like I hadn't even fought him enough the first time where like the second time I was like, okay, well this feels different. And now he's just gone forever, potentially. It was weird. It's kind of new for me, but I guess that's the exciting part about early access stuff.
Yeah. You played Slay the Spire 2 and that guy was still in the game.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta get the T-shirt. It's like, remember the door maker or whoever?
Yeah. No, well, that was my first thought is when I sort of read the headlines and that people in the community were pissed and they were review bombing it, which is stupid and childish and petty.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know who that guy is. I've not seen that guy. What level are these people operating at that they're emotionally invested in this endgame character that I've never seen?
If anything, that makes me just want to play it more so I can like just follow everything that's going on. So the next time they remove somebody, I'll be like, oh yeah, he had it coming. Nobody likes that guy.
Right. Now I must review bomb the game.
Yeah, right. Yeah, when is it going to be my
turn? Cool. We've segued there, but Vampire Crawlers and Vampire Survivors were both great, and will continue to be games that I will play.
Yeah, I feel like I'm probably coming around on Vampire Crawlers. I just it had a bit of a slow start, but I'm optimistic.
Tell you, the first time I crossed that bridge, I felt like the all-powerful Oz. It was because I failed it multiple times, and I was like, I don't know what I should be doing, but I'm not doing it right. And I went back, leveled, unlocked, blah blah blah, and then went to cross that bridge again and got through it. And I was like, oh, that feels good. That feels really nice.
That's nice.
So there's that.
It's like
that little dopamine
progress.
hit. Yeah.
So the thing is, I was just like, I was ready to give up on this game. I was just like, oh, it's so simple. You don't really have to make decisions. And something that was contributing to that is there's a button that just like makes you play your entire card or your entire hand all at once. And I was like, how good could this game be if this is a viable option? And I was just like, okay, let's just see how this goes. And I made it through several areas just mashing the play everything button. And I was like, this is dumb. Like, I'm not going to waste any more time on this game. And then I got to the bridge, and that suddenly did not work anymore. So I thought, okay, well, maybe there is something going on here.
Oh, maybe the bridge is where everybody like, oh, this is the brick wall.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people posting like that as that's like the first thing that gives people trouble in the game, which feels about right because the first couple areas were not putting up too much of a fight.
When I didn't know there was a play everything button. So that's interesting. I'll have to look for that. I don't think I would ever play that because that feels like you're just giving up on having any strategy whatsoever. But
right, yeah, you can't combo with it.
Right. What I was looking for was a setting that would put my cards in order of mana in my hand. And there is not one of those. Because it just draws everything into your hand in whatever order it draws it in. So you have to if you have 10 cards in your hand, you have to ruffle through them left to right to look for which 0 do I want to play first? Which 1 do I want to play first?
Yeah, that would be really nice.
It would be nice if they were just sorted that way, but it's not built into the game. Yeah. But what I did find when I was sort of searching for this on the internet is why can't I? Where is the setting that will put them in mana order in my hand? Is that on the Steam Deck, anyways? You can use one of the shoulder buttons to hold a card and to move it elsewhere in your hand.
Oh yeah, you can do this on the Switch. I think you hold A or something. I was going to mention that you could do this, but you don't want to do that.
No,
it's a lot of effort.
Yeah, I do that a lot in Slay the Spire. I like to have the order right in my hand, but I
didn't even know you could do that in Slay the Spire.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe that's why I was kind of looking for it. Maybe it's not Slay the Spire. Is it somewhere else? No, I think it is Slay the Spire.
You can do that in Balatro.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm confusing it with.
Yeah. Well, that one
is way too many card games in my head.
By ascending or suit or whatever.
Right. But yeah. Now that I found it in crawlers, it's still, I want to be faster. So I'm just flipping back and forth through the cards looking for the order I want and hoping that the interactions between them are elegant enough.
Yeah, well, you got to go review bomb them in the Steam forums until they add that feature.
Yeah. Yep. And DJ and I, before the show, we're talking about AI to a certain degree. And I Googled how do I, where is the setting to put cards in order in my hand in Vampire Crawlers? And it was just tick this, the response from Gemini AI was to just tick this box in the settings. So I'm back and forth in the settings.
It's
going
just
every tab.
Invented a box that doesn't exist.
Yeah. So I went back to the chat because I still had it open on my phone. And I was I don't see the setting on the Steam Deck. Is it only on other platforms? And they're oh, we made a mistake. And I'm you can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still working some kinks out. Sometimes it'll just invent stuff so you're not disappointed.
Right. Yeah. 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 And at some point it was just telling me what it thought I wanted to hear. And I was
Yeah, exactly.
That's dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What if I was how do I do CPR? How do I stop my friend from choking?
He wasn't really your friend. It's not a big deal. No, but I mean, not to go on an AI tangent, but that sort of, there have been a few articles making the rounds this week that are talking about how it tends to just tell you what you want to hear and also conditions you to be less receptive to any sort of like confrontation or friction in interactions with other people, which is just probably not good.
No.
In terms of just helping you exist in the world.
Right. Yikes. Well, I think that about does it for this episode. What should I tell people? You should tell people that if they need any more video game hangover in their brain, they can follow us on Twitter. Nope, they can't. Don't follow us on Twitter. That doesn't exist.
Wait,
where did that come from? What version of the outline is this? If you need any more video game hangover in your brain, you should follow us on Blue Sky as VGHangover.com. And you can always get show notes and links and tell us what you thought about this episode at VGHangover.com as well. We would love for you to join us on Discord. You can get a link to that at VGHangover.com. And we would encourage you to tune in Monday, June 1st at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, where DJ and I will be streaming Thick as Thieves. Go to twitch.tv/VGHangover for that. And lastly, please subscribe, rate, and review us on your podcasting app of choice. We are on most of them, if not all of them. And maybe help us out by telling your friends to the show.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. Helps us bring in new listeners and grow the audience. What do I usually say here? Yeah, that sounds about right.
The listener base.
The listener base. Speaking of growing listener base, it would be great if you... No, let's do this correctly. Just going to start over. We'd like to give thanks again to Ray 8-Bit for our intro and outro music this week. If you'd like to hear more of his work, if you'd like to grow his listener base, you can go to ray8bit.bandcamp.com and buy all of those albums. That'll be terrific.
Nice. My listener base is growing as we speak.
I don't want to hear about
it. We'll be back next week with Thick as Thieves streaming. We're doing that thing. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks with a whole new episode in your ears. Until then, this is Randy Dickinson.
This is DJ Ross.
Thanks for listening to Video Game Hangover. Goodbye.
Good night.
See you.